Welcome to today's session, where we dig into the art of goal setting. Well, more like goal crushing. The core idea here is that setting a goal is easy, but actually achieving it, that's a whole other ball game.
Yep, absolutely. Right? It's like we all have big dreams and wish lists, but then when it comes to turning them into reality, things get tricky.
Exactly. And so this approach we're talking about breaks it down into a neat formula, crush it, which stands for claim your target, refine your objective, understand your motivation, step it out, handle obstacles, implement your plan, and finally, treat yourself.
Yeah, I love that acronym. It's like a roadmap that forces you to think about each step. And if you aim at nothing, you'll always hit it, right?
Right. Claim your target is the kickoff. You need to boldly decide what you're shooting for, even if it's something that kinda scares you a bit. It's like, if you choose a tiny target, you can hit it easily, but why settle for that when you can go big?
It nudges you out of your comfort zone. But then, doesn't that sometimes risk setting goals that are too audacious for a first shot?
True, and that's where refine your objective comes into play. After you claim that big target, you have to narrow it down. So for example, if your goal is to get super fit, refine it by perhaps committing to run a 5K.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Because vague targets are like vague promises. You need specifics to know exactly what you're working towards.
Exactly. And then we move to the you, understand your motivation. And I mean, this part really digs deep. It's like asking yourself, why do I want this? Really, really get into that. When things get rough, that why keeps you
Absolutely.
moving.
I sometimes feel that understanding your why is the hardest part, though. It's so personal and can be layered with other expectations, right? It's a bit like peeling an onion.
Yes. And while we're at that, let's into the step it out. This is where you build a concrete roadmap. It's not just about dreaming, it's about listing the daily, weekly, or monthly actions. Think, what exact steps will I take? Like scheduling 30 minutes each day to work on your goal.
Yep, that's key. But here's where I sometimes get stuck. Isn't there a risk of overplanning? I've seen people almost paralyzed by too many steps.
That can happen, but the idea is to keep it simple and actionable. If you hammer out every tiny detail, it might become overwhelming. You want just enough structure to guide you without turning into a chore.
I get you. And then comes the handle obstacles. Now, this step really resonates with me because, hey, life throws curveballs, right?
Totally. I mean, you've got to acknowledge that obstacles are inevitable, whether it's distractions, setbacks, or unexpected challenges. The trick is to prepare for them so that when they come, they don't completely derail your progress.
Yeah, it's like building a safety net.
Exactly. And then we have implement your plan. Anyone can dream up a plan, but without action, it's all just wishful thinking. It's about actually following through on those
Right,
steps.
action is where the magic happens. I sometimes wonder if people underestimate the power of consistency here. Even if every step isn't perfect, taking continual action builds momentum.
Absolutely. It's those small, consistent moves that compound over time. And finally, we have treat yourself. It might sound a bit like self-indulgence, but celebrating your wins, no matter how small, recharges your motivation.
Yeah, celebrating builds that positive feedback loop. That part always gets overlooked. I mean, if you're so focused on the next step, you might forget to enjoy your achievements. But it's important to recognize that progress deserves recognition.
Exactly. Imagine you're working through your plan and you finally hit a milestone. Taking a moment, even if it's something as simple as a quiet cup of coffee or a little treat, can push you to keep moving forward.
Yeah, I totally agree. Now, here's a point I want to challenge a bit. Some might say that planning every step can kill spontaneity. What do you think about that? Is it possible to balance a strict plan and creativity?
Good question. I believe that while too rigid a structure can sometimes stifle creativity, having a foundation is essential. It's like how you need a canvas before you paint your masterpiece. The plan is the framework, and within that, you can allow room for creative improvisation.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, when you look at it that way, it's more of a guideline rather than an unbreakable law. It is flexible if you need it to be.
Exactly. The beauty of the Crush It formula is its adaptability. You don't have to follow it so strictly that you're locked in. It's really about ensuring you're on track, even when life gets unpredictable.
Yep, absolutely. And another cool aspect of this approach is that it encourages you to always keep your why in sight. I've read that without a strong why, targets can just become empty chores. Yeah, that's so important. Keep that flame burning.
Right. And connecting your day-to-day actions to your larger aspirations is, like fueling a car with high-octane motivation. Without it, your engine might sputter.
I like that analogy. A car without fuel. And that's where the T, treat yourself, can also be a moment for reflection. It's a pause that reaffirms that you're making progress, which in turn lightens the load for the challenges ahead.
Exactly. And when you celebrate even the smallest wins, you build confidence. It's almost like you're tricking your brain into thinking, hey, I did something right, do it again.
Yeah, exactly. I'm also intrigued by how this formula seems applicable to, personal as well as professional goals. Whether it's losing weight, starting a business, or, say, finishing a thesis, the structure holds up.
Absolutely. It's so versatile. Just imagine you're writing your thesis. You start by claiming the objective, completing that chapter. Then refine it by breaking it into sections, understand why it's important for your career, step it out by setting deadlines for each section, handle obstacles by preparing for writer's block, implement by sitting down to write regularly, and then treat yourself when you hit a milestone. Pretty neat, huh?
Yeah, really neat. It's like having a mini roadmap for almost every important area of life. But I wonder, how often do people actually do the treat yourself part? I feel like many just skip that while rushing into the next step.
I've noticed that too. Treating yourself is so easily overlooked because, we're always chasing the next big thing, but not celebrating might make the journey feel endless. It's, like eating dinner without dessert. Something's missing.
Exactly. A little celebration goes a long way. And sometimes even something as simple as acknowledging your progress can help curb the burnout.
Right? And it's also interesting how many people are great at setting goals but then struggle with the implementation part. There's a lot about that gap between intention and action, which this formula tries to bridge with clear planning.
Yeah, the gap is real. I've seen so many folks get excited at the idea of goal setting, make a list, and then, boom, life happens and nothing follows through. It's almost like the list is there for moral support rather than real action.
Totally. And that's why the formula emphasizes, not just planning, but also taking action. Implement your plan forces you to, well, actually do the work. And that consistency is the real game changer.
Yeah, consistency is king. This conversation really makes me want to rethink how I approach my own goals. Sometimes I get lost in setting ambitious goals, but then forget to plan the steps, and I end up feeling overwhelmed when obstacles hit.
I hear you. It's a common pitfall. It all starts with, a clear roadmap. And when you see the progress tick by, even if it's small increments, it adds up. Also, building in a strategy for handling obstacles can boost resilience.
Right. Having a plan for setbacks is so important. I definitely think I'll try incorporating some of these steps into my routine, especially the part about understanding my why and not being afraid to, dream big.
Absolutely. It's about marrying big dreams with actionable plans. And remember, treat yourself along the way. It makes the journey not just about the destination, but about enjoying every step.
Yeah, that's the secret. This discussion has been super enlightening. It just goes to show that crushing your goals isn't magic. It's a structured approach that anyone can adopt, with a little dedication and the right mindset.
Right. It's a blend of ambition and practicality. And, whether you're starting a new project, tackling a fitness goal, or planning your next big life move, having this Crush IT blueprint can really be a
Absolutely.
game changer.
Thanks for walking through this with me. I feel energized and ready to go back and rework some of my own goals using the Crush IT strategy.
Glad to hear that. Remember, the journey to success is as much about the small steps as the big leaps. Keep refining, keep pushing through those obstacles, and don't forget to, well, celebrate every win along the way.
Right on. Totally. Cheers to crushing our goals, one step at a time.